Hello and welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My screen name is Covert Muffin, and we are here to bring you the next exciting match in the Ori Randomizer tournament. It's the second round of Swiss, and it's going to be none other than Brynhold versus Synyadriel. Joined with me is none other than Ozzy laying down the sick comments. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm willing to put off our differences from yesterday to make this commentary work out. No hard feelings.
Yes. So we had quite a difficult seed between us when we faced each other last night, didn't we, Ozzy?
Yeah, even for somebody's experience like you almost went over an hour, but I think everybody would have had a difficult time if they had made different choices.
Yeah,
so,
and speaking of which, we have quite an exciting match here today as well, especially with Brynhold on the line, man. He's kind of like the dark horse, isn't he, Ozzy?
Yeah, we don't really know a whole lot about him. What we do know from his performance last week is that he is more than capable of putting on a good show. There's a couple things I did notice that he might have taken the time over the week to learn up on. So I'm very interested to see what he's capable of pulling off this time.
Yeah, for sure. And Synyadriel being new to the randomizer seed, I'm very excited to see what Syn brings to the table, as well as we are going to get started once our players ready up. But that being said, we had a difficult seed last night, so what are you hoping for an opener here, Ozzy?
Do I share my bitterness or do I wish them well? That's a tough choice, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of do a 50-50. Let's make it a bash grenade opening.
Oh man, bash grenade seeds are great. Having bash, one of the most versatile skills in the entire randomizer, allowing you to get across most of the map with just that skill alone, would be a really great one to see. And then grenade, giving that extra verticality anywhere on the map, allows for really offhanded pickups, as well as getting grenade gated pickups, which can be a huge deterrent in seeds. But that being said, it looks like we are going to be starting now. Oh yeah, nice green transition. I love those animations, man. And we are going to see Brynhold on the left-hand side of your screen and Syn over on the right. GLHF, guys.
All right, so let's see if my prediction holds true. Come on, bash or grenade. Ooh, nice. Brynhold's putting on color shift.
Yeah, color shift is a really fun command. Just changes the color of Ori every single time. And yep, there's Syn also matching pace for pace. And we are going to come across our first pickup here and see exactly what it is. It's a Keystone. All right, this is what the most likely thing to get as a first pickup. Keystones being a valuable resource that gets us access through key doors, and this is going to open up left glades pretty early on. Yeah, and so that energy cell is also just like a pickup that's always going to be an energy cell. It just gives our players a little bit of safety, allows them to save. And here there's a pickup underneath sign. Good that both players got it, and it's 2 keystones. So we have a left glades opener here, Ozzy.
Yeah, it's traditional as traditional gets for Ori randomizers, really.
Yeah, for sure. Left glades is nice because the pickups are usually easy to acquire because in the vanilla playthrough, you're only supposed to have wall jump in that section. Our players may or may not get wall jump here, but most of the pickups are accessible with real minimal skills. So nice density, nice sort of spread, and nice even tempo as they progress through towards their first skill.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different ways the seed can go from here. We can expect to see wall jump, like you said, but we also could see something like climb, which would be interesting, but kind of awkward to work with in some of the areas and glades.
Yeah, and there we are, third keystone. So here is the fourth pickup over on the left. It is 4 keystone openers, so Spirit Caverns is going to be open immediately, which is gated by another 2 key door. A 4th health cell. Actually, what you can do is swim down to this health cell and then swim out if you react quickly enough. Brynhold is just going to opt to not take that 4th health cell because it didn't quite get moving in time, and is not going to go back for it. So
yeah, that's completely reasonable, especially since you could probably, if you're an experienced runner at this game, you can live without a health cell. And even if you were to do what you described to get away with that health cell, to do it on your first try to react appropriately in time is a little difficult, I feel.
Yeah, and I really like this play from Sin over on the right. Ended up just opening that key door and then walking away. And Charge Flame from Brynhold on the left. This is going to be a really nice early pickup, isn't it, Ozzy?
Yeah, I would almost want to go back and check the blue breakable wall that leads over the Charge Flame tree, because whatever reason, that pickup is almost guaranteed to be wall jump.
Yeah, I can oftentimes see these like probabilities get skewed in a sense, but Brynhold now with that pickup is going to actually do exactly what you mentioned. It's just going to back off and end up heading back. And Sin actually
he got a map stone. He's going to put that in.
Oh yeah, you're right. There it is, 45 experience. So progressive map stones, that's just the first one. Doesn't matter where he turns it in, but that pickup was 45 experience. So Sin is going to be making the play that you suggested, Ozzy. It is wall jump!
Called it.
This is going to be brutal for Brynhold. Brynhold is going to have to backtrack all the way to the Charge Flame tree, while Sin is just able to check a couple extra pickups with wall jump, and it is not going to have to backtrack to left blades to get those checks. That's actually a pretty big play from Sin.
Yeah, it's just going to save him a lot with his routing. And we get another health cell over at the wall jump tree, which is really nice to find, considering that early health is just going to let you damage boost a lot more efficiently.
Yeah, and so Sin is going to break down that wall and then get an energy crystal back, because this is going to allow Sin to be able to check this petrified plant over here, which also gates a pickup. And this pickup is indeed in logic, and it's only an ability cell. So looks like the next blade, barring something in left blades and spirit caverns, is going to be Blackroot Burrows, or as we like to say, BRB.
Yep. Oh, and he went back for the health cell since he it was a lot easier to get knowing that he had 4 health cells.
Yeah, I really like that poison water swim from Brynhold on the left. That allowed him to just grab the health cell, and now he's going to have a max health of 5. Looks a little bit spooky right now because he's only on 1 health, but I'm sure a player of Bryn's caliber is going to be fine with this predicament. Yeah, but there we go. Synyadriel actually activated the lever. If Sin actually ends up going through Spirit Caverns, and Bryn on the left also making the same play, this is actually opening up the entire right-hand portion of the map. So with Wall Jump, with Charge Flame, and with 8 keystones on the map in Glades and Blackroot Burrows, this allows our players access to the right-hand side of the map. It's most likely that our players will get these resources instead of another skill. So them just preemptively making the play to be ready to head through Spider Cove to get to Hollow Grove, and then also to...
Yeah, but if it ends up not being the case, I know that a lot of players prefer to not have to go through that route, because a lot of those pickups are unreachable for the most part going through Spider Sack area. And just, cutting your way, any way to shortcut your way into Grotto, because Grotto is such an item dense area for checks.
Yeah, for sure, Ozzy. And also, just sequence breaking, having to go through Spider Sack area or Spider Cove, it allows our runners to get closer to the next tree a little bit sooner, and allows them to potentially go for that 6 tree second clue. Yeah, all right, Sin on the right, very low on health, but is able to get through the quills on the slimes, no problem. That could be like a really difficult bullet hex scenario, but now Sin with Wall Jump is going to be able to come over here and check a couple pickups while Bryn is working through Spirit Caverns, so a little bit of a divergence from our players, but not too much to speak of.
I really hope he gets a health drop here, because right now he cannot do damage boosting. He would have to push the rock.
Oh yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what Sin does. Yeah, Sin also recognizing that they do not have enough health to be able to do the damage boost, and it's going to push the block up, but oh, it takes a death at the Crushers. The save is nearby, but all that time spent pushing that block was now just has to be reapplied as Bryn making it back over to the left blades portion.
Oh, he takes another death, dude. No.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, but here we go. Brynhold now is going to be pushing the block, but has that 3 HP. So we're going to see a really cool a little bit of a sequence break for having to push this block just by running into these spikes and then jumping up while iframes are still present and getting up here. And wow, look at that time save from Brynhold from being able to do that, and then also those deaths just adding up from Syn. So our runners are now tied back up on pickups, but Brynhold has been down to wall jump tree and is going to skip checking that energy cell, Ozzy.
If this turns out to be something, a skills or another keystone that'll let them progress through the top spirit caverns, this could be interesting.
Yeah, this is a power play from Brynhold. Says this one pickup, because the huge majority of the map is open to me, is not going to be progression. So eyes on the right as Syn grabs this. It is only a keystone.
But it's the 4th keystone.
Yeah, so if you're in Syn's position here, Ozzy, would you end up just backtracking up and going through Spider Sack area, or would you go down to join Brynhold in BRB?
I would go to BRB at this point. It's not just, the fact that progressing through Spirit Caverns would bring you too much time, but I would also want that tree information. This would be their 3rd tree, since it is, they've got Sea Flame Tree, they've got Wall Jump Tree, Dash Tree would be the 3rd one. They'd be able to get their first clue. And clues are always valuable early on.
Yeah, that's fair. And going through Spider Sack area actually just further increases that duration for when they are able to...
Oh, right. Synyadriel didn't put in his map stone. He's checking that.
Yeah, and so Syn is just going to find some experience here. And then they might just make the play to go up through Spider Sack area, having come across this entire way. Not too bad, but there's also a map pedestal in BRB that, with a bit of a sequence break, we can get access to. But that's okay. Just a little bit of a safe play, saying this map stone was in logic. Maybe it could have been something to increase the rate that I'm able to get through BRB. So it's better for me to backtrack now and put in that map stone than it is to do that. But yeah, here we go. Bryn just making quick work of BRB. Nice play from him so far. Haven't seen any big mistakes. Nice optimization there for the pickup check. His platform cycle might be just a little bit off here, but we're going to see if he's able to catch these platforms in the next room. And yeah, it's just a little bit off, but that's not too bad. He's just going to come over here and drop a save and then progress on us. Syn on the right is going to be heading up to the Hollow Grove teleporter.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if he decides to take the opportunity to check some of the pickups over in Valley Entrance. Yes, he is. But, are you sick? I was going to say, Syn, if you're going to Valley Entrance on 1 HP and no energy, you are insane, sir.
Yeah, this is one of the spooky portions of this. We don't quite have the ability point turn-ins because we want to use those ability points for skipping cutscenes in BRB, as we see Brynhold doing on the left, spending that ability point to save the game after the cutscene starts, and it's going to allow him to enter that cutscene and gain control of Ori and move around it. And so here, Brynhold also going to be doing an interesting little trick here. Do you want to explain that a bit, Ozzy?
Yeah, Brynhold is basically getting on top of these crushers, because normally you're supposed to use dash in order to safely cross underneath them, but you can just jump on top of them and hop from one to the next to get over.
Well, we got our first clue, Ozzy, and it is the Gumon seal in Glades. We might have a forlorn seed on our hands.
Well, shoot.
But yeah, here we go. On the right, Syn. Oh, man. A little bit of a Maka scenario, but nice timing on the level up to get past that 2 damage Frankie.
Okay, so we just found that the ability cell in the middle of Barrows is a keystone. So that would be the 4th keystone for Brynhold. But he's going to go ahead and check what is over in Randomizer area.
Yeah, right now with the skills that Brynhold has, this is considered to be a sequence break, but because the entire right-hand side of the map is open, it almost suggests that there's a high likelihood that he's going to find something. That one pickup that was a keystone was in logic, but the rest of this glitch is not expected of runners to falls. But yeah, here we go. We're going to see exactly what these next 3 pickups are going to be for Brynhold. And if he finds like something useful, like charge jump or double jump, or even something like stomp, that could be really, really good for him.
Yeah, even if like double jump really doesn't give him a whole lot of access, it's just another keystone, dude. The intended route is to go through spirit caverns.
Yeah, so interesting thing here as well is that this mapstone turn-in is quote-unquote in logic, not necessarily on this map pedestal, but there is a couple of map pedestals open to our runners right now to turn this mapstone in, and finding that mapstone in BRB could get Brynhold a bit of an advantage. No, it's just a keystone, just more resources.
At the very least, this means he doesn't have to go all the way to get that keystone in the over at the ability cell in the middle of Barrows, and he doesn't need.
Oh, that is a nice pickup for Brynhold. Finding that Hollow Grove TP is going to allow him to get up to that area quicker than Sin was able to do. But also, he's not going to have to spend the 4 keystones.
Holding on to those 4 keystones can mean a huge deal on Randomizer because there's certain. Well, there is ways to duplicate keystones. There's some you can't, and it always really hurts going to a door and you realize, oh no, I'm too shy.
All right. Well, while Bryn follows in Sin's footsteps here, just checking some pickups and making their way over to Hollow Grove through Spider Sack area, we see Sin on the right, actually in Hollow Grove and checking some pickups. There are a good number of pickups over here. Man, just being only on 1 energy can just be so brutal in this scenario.
Yeah. He also, I don't know if he has enough ability points either, but I definitely. Oh my goodness, there's Bash.
Yeah, that is.
No, he killed the frog. He can't get up through Iceless.
Yeah, that's okay for Sin. It's too bad not being able to go into Hollow Grove, but even if he was able to get up there, would have only gotten him 1 pickup check, and then not having enough health to be able to progress would kind of stunt them from being able to move on.
No, dude.
Wow, that's a pretty rough death from Sin on the right. Just going to have to go through this entire area again, but Sin knows where Bash is. It was gated in this plant, in this Hollow Grove area. And it might look like Sin is a little bit further ahead right now, finding Bash earlier, but also remember that Brynhold has full cleared upper BRB, including the boulder escape.
And that is something that Sin is going to have to do eventually. Maybe not necessarily boulder escape, but just getting to that tree.
Yeah, for sure. Having Bash is going to be nice. It's going to allow Sin to be able to sort of skip some movement portions of BRB, but struggling a bit getting this frog into a good position. Bash being very powerful in that regard, but able to get up there at last. Oh, careful, those are 3 damage spikes.
And the Sorrow teleporter. Oh man, what a nice find.
Yeah, really, that's probably the most powerful teleporter in the entire run, besides maybe Swamp or Moon Grotto early on for opening up a seed. This is going to bypass Sin's need to have Glide, really, to be able to get through Sorrow, and also just really get down to Valley. It's a way for left side access for Sin, but Sin still needs a couple of skills here to be able to make use of that teleporter, so we'll see how the seed progresses.
Oh, thank God I can breathe again. He made it to the teleporter.
There we go. Nice save, and also unlocking a new fast travel location. Has to push this block out because our runners only verticality is bashed without a projectile or an enemy around. We're not going to be able to make use of that skill, but nice. Sin, having learned from those spinning spike thingies from earlier in the seed, knows to be a little bit more cautious. But Brynhold now in getting out of Spider Sack area, going to be progressing into a Bash pickup of his own there.
And it looks like with 4 health cells, he can damage boost across these. And okay, he's through. He's in Grotto.
Yeah, there we go. So you're talking a bit about Grotto being a great place for checks, weren't you, Ozzy?
Yeah, and oops. That level up was rather unfortunate. He would normally have used Bash to get up to that experience point check, but yeah, that didn't quite pan out.
Yeah. All right, so Bryn finding Bash immediately is going to be coming over to the left for this mapstone check. We're going to see if he ends up going up also to check this stomp pickup. Yeah, he is. Oh no, just dropping the save just in case it's nothing. I like that play.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable. But as Sindr goes ahead and start beginning his dive into Barrows, this is one of the best places early on in any seed. And interesting, he decided to not brick skip.
Yeah, and there we go. Sin not quite having enough energy to drop down a save and not opting to start a save anywhere over from the waypoint is going to end up having to fall all the way down here. So maybe we'll see Sin just like check some out of the way pickups, Altar out, and then end up heading back because Sin finds double jump on the map zone check in lower grotto. Wow, that is a really nice pickup.
It's gonna open up even more of Grotto here. Mostly just the left side, but there is a total of 3 plants and 2 pickups that he can reach with just double jump alone.
Yeah,
And it,
Sin also trying to go for this double jump here. This is a pretty tight jump, and just trying it a few times and opting to not go for it. So maybe just going to circumnavigate around to check that energy cell while they're going to be picking up a map stone here in the Crusher.
Brynhold opting to just go over past the Ginso tree entrance and is making his way through the swamp portion.
Yeah, Sin also just a little bit starved on the right of Keystones. Ooh, just taking a bit of a death there. Is going to have to try for this movement again. And oh man, just going through the Crushers again. But opting, yep, to collect the map zone. I like that play as Brynhold on the left, checking Swamp pickups.
Yeah, you never want to leave a map stone behind because it's just one of those fetch quest items that you know that could potentially hold something, so you just take it.
Yeah, for sure. And so Brynhold, in a bit of an interesting position, is going to be doing this puzzle here with the casual method of just unlocking all these mortar worms. And here is going to be bashing off a shot to check this ability cell pickup normally. And it's a mega energy. That is actually a very, very useful pickup for them right now, isn't it, Ozzy?
Yeah, there's a couple of doors you can open in the game that require either 2 or 4 energy, and currently both players only have 2 energy at their disposal. So it's an interesting precarious situation. It's especially precarious because they also need to use energy in order to check plants.
Yeah, wow.
So
It's in Synyadriel making the play, coming over to this 2 key door without keystones, but did the check and found Water Vein. So Synyadriel with double jump with bash actually has Ginso tree available to them. But oh man, just being so starved on keystones for having to go through that 2 key door. I mean 4 key door earlier to get up to Hologrove TP is really taking its toll on Sin.
yeah, hopefully things will turn out better to him once he starts making the play over to the left side of Grotto, because there's a lot of checks there, and there's guaranteed to be at least 1 or 2 keystones. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so all in all, right now, I would put Brynhold in a slight lead right now, just mostly because of the overall resources and the number of pickups that he was able to check so far, and also having the entirety of BRB done. And so Brynhold now is going to be making up for lost time for just like checking lots and lots of pickups. But with that information, he has now tapered down certain locations to be having a high likelihood. And look at this, making the Death Gauntlet play from the right-hand side there, Ozzy.
Yeah, this is perfectly reasonable. I mean, Death Gauntlet has been known to hide some pretty valuable stuff in the past. Most recently, that I can think of, our race.
Yeah, for sure. And now Brynhold just finding experience so far, nothing else really to speak of. Sin, oh man, just struggling to do the left side of Grotto, the actual casual way. It's quite tricky to be able to do that with just double jump and bash without much to bash off of. Is just going to opt to altar out and head into BRB. But wow, Brynhold with the Spirit Light efficiency find, Ozzy.
And looks like he's having a little difficulty here getting the save anywhere the trigger. There he goes. And he will be finally getting probably a skill that he really, really wants off the ability tree. It's oh, he's just going to get regroup first. But the next ability after regroup is charge flame efficiency. This will cut the energy cost of charge flame in half, essentially doubling the amount of times they can use charge flame.
Oh man, Brynhold on the left, leveling up the ability just a split second too soon. Got that bridge to be stuck shut. So Brynhold is now going to have to backtrack down through this set of cutscenes to be able to get access to BRB, and also miss that ability cell pickup there in that main vertical shaft that you normally get coming from the Boulder Escape and BRB if you had Stomp.
Yeah. So I would not, at the very least, if he decides that he wants to climb up traditionally through this trap that Gumalin has laid for him, he can use Bash on those rocks to get up there fast.
Yeah, for sure. And Sin opting not to double bash a shot up to be able to get up through BRB, but instead just Altars out, and woo, look at that Mapstone turn in from Brynhold on the left, picking up Glide on Mapstone 3. I'm sure our runners are going to be really happy with that pickup, aren't they, Ozzy?
Oh, absolutely. It may not do much right now, but eventually, once they go over towards the valley, oh, it's going to give each of these players a sigh of relief knowing that they don't have to do any crazy shenanigans in order to get through Sorrow.
Yeah, and look at this also on the left. Brynhold's checking this one keystone that is gated by this mini boss. A very time-expensive pickup to check, but we're going to see exactly what it is. It's only a keystone. Okay, that's good, because Sin actually opted to not do that fight to check that pickup. So not too much of an advantage, but Sin has been so starved on keystones so far in this seed.
Yeah, there's a couple keystones he can find here in BRB, so he will be happy to find those, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. And that keystone also would have been useful. Not quite enough to be able to get through that double jump tree, but Brynhold just coming to this area with slightly more resources. Oftentimes in Rando, we like to sort of glorify like the skills as being the thing that is gating our runners from being able to progress through a seed. But oftentimes, situations like this where resources can end up costing you seconds, if not minutes.
Mm-hmm. And Brynhold does have enough keys. He is going to go ahead, open this door, and make his way to the double jump tree. There's two pickups over by it, the pickup being the tree and the other pickup being the second one I'm mentioning. But there could be something here, and if it's something really important.
Oh man, the keystone gated by that 2 keystone door. And here's the tree pickup and ability cell. Okay. Yeah, so Sin is doing this reverse crusher puzzle by just going up along the top. Nice, finds health regen that's going to act as an extra health cell, which is going to be really nice. That first iteration of health regen, always a nice pickup to see.
And Brynhold is deciding to not alt-nar back to the start of the game and is climbing out to go back to the left side of Grotto.
Yeah, this is a nice play from Bryn, honestly. Like, finding double jump down in the crushers, he had the decision to make, whether he's going to go down to double jump tree or check left side of Grotto. And I actually like this decision from Bryn. I think I would have made the same call, just going down to the tree and then backtracking out. And also, alt-Ring would have been pretty time costly as Bryn is trying to do a really tricky jump here. Nice, being the all-skills veteran that he is, being able to get off that tricky jump no problem, as he's going to be checking a lot of pickups that Sin was not able to check.
Mm-hmm. That energy situation being a problem for him as it was at the time. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty efficient. The only thing he can't check unless there's another energy cell alongside this one is the 4 energy door at the bottom.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Ozzy. We're going to see also if Bryn decides to make the play to just check the plant. He is. I really like this power play from Bryn.
Well, he also has glide and double jump. He can check the ability cell down here, too.
Yes, he can. So we're going to see if these 2 pickups get him anything big. It's just a warmth return. Man, I'm feeling extra toasty right now.
And it's just XP. Yep, he's alt-narring out of there. Say goodbye to that 4 energy door. We're probably not seeing it ever again from him.
Yeah, here we go. So we've been down to Grotto. We found double jump, right? So what are our players' plays right now? Like Sin has to make the choice, right? Going down to Grotto to check the pickups that they skipped. But if you're Bryn here, what are you feeling like doing, Ozzy?
Well, currently he's feeling like checking some of these double jump and bash locations that you can reach and not really getting a whole lot for it. But you got Water Vein, you got double jump, you have bash. Go to Genso.
Yeah, I think I would have liked that play a lot as well, especially because the Brynhold has so many keystones. So if he really wanted to, he could just get swamp entry by doing Ginso escape. That's always a play that's on the table. But just checking some one-offs and glades just in case progression is locked there. And then I'm assuming that Brynhold is going to make that play as Sin now going back into Grotto to just check these pickups that they missed. And also that 2 key door leading down to double jump tree is still closed. So we're going to see if Sin decides to go down to the tree.
I can't imagine them passing it up at this point. I mean, that is our one of our mandatory goals in the randomizer is you need to visit every single tree location in order to finish the game. It's just something you plan to do and get out of the way as soon as possible.
Yeah, for sure. And nice finding a keystone. So Sin actually just opting to just immediately go over to the right in order to start making work on that tree. I like this because it's in progression. It's kind of a spooky thing. What if Brynhold had found something important down there? And then I'm guessing Sin is going to make the play to go into Ginso. Just such nice density as well after you get past these initial couple of rooms, right, Ozzy?
Mm-hmm. Once you pass this, there's oh man, and the fact that they have glide and bash, there's really not a whole lot that can cause them to suffer too much. It's going to be smooth sailing to check these things.
Yeah, for sure. Bash and Sea Flame alone gets them access to every single pickup in Ginso Tree, and so this is going to allow Brynhold to be able to work through those areas. So very nice play. I really like this, and I hope Brynhold actually, even if he finds progression, I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to just go up to the upper portions of Ginso.
Wait, something might be wrong here because on Sin's side, I noticed that when he got to the double jump tree, that was his 3rd tree. What?
Yeah, that is a little bit weird. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And update you guys with the information as it comes across to us. No worries. But yeah, now Sin is also going to be following in Brynhold's steps, coming up through Ginso. Very reasonable decision. Brynhold only finding experience and some resources so far while coming through Ginso, and not quite finding progression yet. Really what Brynhold is looking for is something like Stomp, something like even Clean Water would open up a play in his disposal to be able to get over to Stomp Tree. But now is going to be arriving at his next tree, and activating Bash Tree is going to get him the 2nd health regen. That doesn't get us anything really too much to speak of. And Brynhold's already at tree number 5.
Yeah. It feels to me you don't without charge jump, without stomp, without clean water, there has to be something in Genso. And I would say at this point with this skill set, I would do everything in Genso. The likelihood of finding something here that's incredibly useful is so high. Plus, it would just immediately take you into to where Stomp Tree is. It would be too tempting.
Yeah, I like this play also from Brynhold. Dropping that save there is almost indicative that he's going to try and generate some extra keystones for himself. Only being on the limited number of keystones that he has, and if he decides to go do the escape. But wow, Valley Teleporter, what a pickup for Bryn.
Okay, man, if they can find Wind Restored as well, this would be a truly amazing time for them.
Yeah, oh, look at all these extra keystones. And the Forlorn Teleporter. Bryn is not going to key to get extra keystones. He's just going to put those keystones in. There's only really one more key door for him in this match that is anything more than 2. And on that door, he can just dupe really easily because he has Glide for Sorrow. But that being said, I really like this decision from Bryn to keep going in Ginso. Yeah, so Bryn now up in this upper Ginso area, he can just use Bash to be able to go through, and then he's most likely going to actually end up doing the Ginso Tree Escape. And after you end up finishing Ginso Tree Escape, it just automatically plants you and teleports you right outside of the Thornfelt Swamp to Key Door, leading to his next tree, which would be Stomp Tree.
Unfortunately, he does not have any way to reach that plant without pushing another energy here and using Double Bash. But he can check this plant. And there he goes. And it's another air cell.
The 5th energy is really nice because there's a lot of 4 energy doors on the map that none of our players have been able to check, and those all could actually end up having progression. Like a charge jump could be behind the 4 energy door, and I mean, there's always something behind the 4 energy door in Spider Sack area, as we've seen from our tournament seed so far.
Unless it's a kind seed, in which case there's nothing valuable there.
But here we go, Bryn. Just using the casual spider shot, and hits it, nicely done, and he is going to be destroying these last series of Brambles and then starting his Ginso escape, as we are going to see what Syn opts to do, because Syn has no keystones. We know there are keystones up ahead that Syn could actually end up key duping, but Syn just activates the tree, finds nothing. So let's see if Syn altars. No, good, I like it. I like that Syn is going to be continuing on a Ginso tree. Whew.
So we're gonna see Brynhold go through the escape. Even with this skill set, Ginso escape is not free. It is very easy to die here. And if you die, you go to the very start of escape.
Yeah, for sure. Bryn also glitched out the water here, just by rekindling a save after and then getting high enough before the opening cutscene for the escape starts. That ends up allowing us to be able to despawn the water. If he takes a death here, the water will actually activate again, but that is no problem. But so far, so nothing here in the Ginso tree escape. And so we're going to see Explosion Power Upgrade makes Charge Flame free. That's nice, but not necessary. And we're going to see what the last pickup of Ginso escape is. It's a keystone.
Alright, so nothing really like groundbreaking in all of Ginso, but it did get them the swamp.
Alright, and now Syn going to be checking this floor pickup as Brynhold is going to be looking up at the sky. He's locked in this cutscene because the text is all removed from the randomizer DLL. And so it causes us to get a little bit stuck here. But no problem, nothing wrong with Brynhold's game. He's just going to have to wait for the map to appear like that, and then he's going to be able to progress on through towards his Stomp Tree.
Well, here's the thing. We did come out of Ginso with some teleporters. We got Forlorn Teleporter and we got Valley Teleporter. I would not be surprised if Brynhold decides to make the play to go to Valley and just check some of those Valley pickups that he can reach with Glide and Double Jump and Dash.
Yeah, with just Bash, it gets him access to the Feather Tree as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Brynhold also to make that play. That's a really good point.
Oh my goodness. He'll definitely want to do that now. Sunstone is in Valley.
Oh, wow. And so this, of course, could also mean the area that's sectioned off right to the left of Hollow Grove TP. So we're going to see what Brynhold decides to do. Is he going to approach to the Feather pickup the normal way from the Hollow Grove TP, or is he just going to teleport directly to Valley and take the gamble to say it's in the lower section of Valley? No, he's not. He's going to do something completely different. He's going back to BRB.
He's probably going to go ahead and Frankie Walk? Is he really going to do this now? Okay.
Yeah, look at this. Watch this trick from Brynhold. He's going to be double bashing this Frankie. It's now one hit away from death, so he doesn't have that safety bash to be able to get the Frankie past a really scary section. But just bringing the Frankie up here is going to allow him to jump over all the crushers, not having to do any of that. But this is the scary part. Yeah, okay.
He killed it.
Yeah, this is a pretty tricky setup. You really need to get that Frankie up there with only 2 double bashes if you want to use that last bash. And Brynhold not getting that again is going to have to do a little bit of a trickier scenario. The moment you know the Frankie is going to aggro on you and start the jump, you need to start heading left. Unless you have something like Dash and you can get far enough away from the Frankie. But here we go, and is he going to do it? And no, the Frankie hits the spikes and is taking another death, while Sin is now in this upper portion and is going to be progressing on through.
And he decides to bail on the Frankie walk, deciding that, okay, I've had my fun. Let's go play the game.
Yeah, Sin taking a death there is going to have to do the left-hand side again, as well as the right-hand side. Actually, I don't know if they did the left-hand side. Doesn't matter. They took a death, and now Sin has to end up doing some portions again. But Sin heading over to the right to try this puzzle again, trying to use the redirect blocks to be able to go through, as Brynhold now checking Valley pickups, but only experience is going to be meeting his eyes.
Right, but he's going to head on over and check some of these other Valley pickups. That I mean, he can check this one that's guarded by the birds, and he gets it, and it's just XP. I think that's all he can do here in the lower section of Valley. He's gonna have to go through the spiky area with the spiders to check anything else, or go back to Valley entrance. Which, if you are this starved for skills and stuff like that, to check things reasonably within Valley, that might be where things are hidden. I believe we did see both of our runners briefly check what was over there, but I think they only checked what the stomp location of the Valley entrance was.
Yeah. There's also a couple of other pickups as well. Brynhold's leaving behind one of the pickups that is actually open with only wall jump. To be able to check at the Valley entrance, just left of the Hollow Grove teleporter. There's also a couple of grenade-gated pickups, as well as some pickups up here that Brynhold is going to be checking. So we could see the seed looking like a pretty quick seed for Brynhold could actually turn into a nightmare scenario, couldn't it, Ozzy?
There's so many horrible pickups that could potentially hold the Sunstone in the Valley. They could be grenade block. It could be climb and charge jump blocked, and of course there is everybody's favorite, the long swim, that's blocked by clean water and grenade.
Yeah. Brynhold activating this cutscene, I'm not quite sure what his play is going to be here. He doesn't have stomp or charge jump and climb, so he's going to have to end up bringing a spider shot over. Yep, that looks like what he's doing. Oh, he's going to use some swag double dashes to be able to get through. Not quite wanting to go over and do that trick known as fast stompless to be able to check the shot. Oh, the spider shot gets away from him because the bird's got in the way.
Yeah.
So not quite getting that.
He just went over what Kuro was going to be standing on top of. Kuro isn't actually there right now because he doesn't have stomp. The kill plane isn't there. It's really nice sometimes, but this also means that the game has to assume at all times that you have stomp in order to go across Valley. It's just something that's programmed into the randomizer so that you don't have a soft lock situation.
Yeah, for sure. And now Bryn getting the feather tree is going to still keep that tree vantage over his opponent's Sin, as he's going to be progressing into the left side more and more. Of course, Bryn doesn't really need the Sunstone until the very end of the seed, so we might see Brynhold make some play for trees, but where was Stomp? Where is something like Grenade or Charge Jump? These players only on Bash and Double Jump really for their ability with getting around the map. And now Brynhold's spending that huge bank of ability points is going to get himself triple jump and also ultra defense.
We're gonna be seeing a Sorrow play from. Here's the thing, right? They do have Sorrow teleported, right?
Yes.
So this means Stomp potentially could be over in there. It would make sense if you had charge jump and climb and then Stomp would be logically there, but I don't think anything like Stomp could be in Sorrow because of that. So Stomp still has to be on right side or somewhere in Forlorn, I feel.
Right, and a nice little clarification from the truck. Thank you guys so much. We have some people working behind the scenes helping us out with these casts, and we're getting word that the stomp requirement here in Valley is only for the standard. On harder difficulties, it actually expects you to be able to do like a play like Brynhold did, where he was taking the spider shot and destroying the rocks to activate the tree. But yeah, here we go. Brynhold is now in Sorrow.
There's still a lot of checks he can do. The fact that he has Glide here, nice crowd of TP. Glide is going to just make navigating through Sorrow so much more efficient and, frankly, a lot less headache-inducing. But he doesn't have Dash. What is he? Oh, he's going to Frog Juggle.
All right, watch this on the left. This is a really insane trick. He's going for a micro ledge here to get the frog to stay on it. Oh,
it's so close, dude.
Yeah, that was so close. This ledge is really, really tiny, and it's very difficult to get the frog to stay in there. But the goal is to get the frog to stay in there long enough to start charging up a shot. Oh, was that? No, it wasn't quite good enough. Oh, man, that's so rough.
Micro ledges, what are they?
What even? But yeah, here we go. Syn, now finishing his time over in Ginso, is coming over back into Swamp to be able to go through and maybe check some pickups that they ended up skipping the first time around.
Well, we know Brynhold has actually been through here. He went over the top of where Ginso entrance was and checked all these locations, but now Syn has double jump, he has bash. There's a couple pickups here he can grab that Brynhold was not able to.
Yeah, for sure. And here we go. We're going to see the first pickup over on the right. This health cell Brynhold had to end up skipping in order to be able to progress. And it's Grenade! Oh, man, that is so big. This is exactly what Syn needs to be able to get back into the seed. There are only 2 locations on the map that Grenade can be. One of them is fixed, and that's at the end of Forlorn Escape that Brynhold definitely does not want to do, because that takes minutes to be able to get to that pickup. But Syn making the play, checking it, finding Grenade. If Sunstone is gated by Grenade, that means if you need Grenade to be able to get Sunstone, this could be a huge play for Syn.
Oh, absolutely. This seed just got a whole lot more interesting for us to watch now. That said, this doesn't mean this will give Syn a huge lead at the moment, because it's very entirely possible that Brynhold decides to give up on this venture with the frog here and start going back and checking previous areas. But it's rough. All this time where we were saying Brynhold's making all this incredibly smart routing and he's being efficient with all his checks, and now he's looking like he's going to have to double dip in the areas he's been to.
Yeah, you know, there's also a play Brynhold can make if he goes over on the left. I'm sure he knows about it, where you can just triple jump and use Glide to be able to get into
and there's Wind Restored.
Wow, Wind Restored find from Syn. That's going to be nice going up through Valley. Of course, with triple jump, it's not too bad, but oh wow, Syn finding Kumon Seal as well. It's a pretty funny pickup.
Well, we already knew it was going to be in Glade somewhere, but this means they have full complete access through Forlorn. Forlorn.
Man, Brynhold really just trying to make this setup work. This trick is as difficult as it seems, folks. So major shout outs to Bryn for trying this. Take my energy, Bryn. You can do it, man. We're going to see how long Bryn ends up just staying at this trick before opting to maybe do something different.
Yeah, this is incredibly gutsy to do at the Tempest and Embrace of all things.
Syn must have taken a death or something, or just opted to not keep the Valley TP when he found it. That's kind of brutal, actually, because Syn doesn't have Stomp as well, so I'm not sure that Syn may or may not know the way to get into Valley from the right-hand side using only Bash, which is doable. It sequence breaks the logic a little bit, but Syn making the play for Forlorn.
Yeah, he's got multiple ways to help get through here fairly pain-free. I'm very interested to see if there's actually anything here in Forlorn. And oh no, sit not that way, dude. There's nothing up there.
Oh, Brynhold got it. He is up in Sorrow. He is going to be able to progress towards Charge Jump Tree. Oh man, I just really would like to see Syn push for some trees right now. This is really, really tricky Sin just saying, I have Goom on Seal, I have the teleporter. Something has a chance to be in Forlorn. Like, maybe Sin is hoping to find a really, really big progression item.
It's entirely possible. There's been crazier stuff hidden here in Forlorn.
Actually, I just had a thought, Ozzy. This also gets Sin access to a portion of Valley, right? Because the moment you leave Forlorn, the dungeon itself, you actually are considered to be over in Valley. So we're going to see if Sin actually decides to make the play to check for Sunstone in Valley.
He doesn't know where Sunstone is. He doesn't have enough trees, but
Oh, he doesn't? Oh, no.
no, he doesn't.
Oh, man. Wow, if this actually works out for Sin, I'm going to have to ask him about this after the seed. Oh, man.
I really hope he decides to leave, because there's 3 checks he can do that are outside of Forlorn.
All right, here we go. Sin toggling the cutscene there that normally gets us the orb and is going to be heading on over here to the right, going to check one more pickup in Forlorn. Does Sin Alt-R here, or does Sin make the play to check the pickups outside?
He's going outside!
He's going outside! Eyes on the right, guys. This could be it. If Sin actually ends up finding Sunstone down here, this could be the play that brings Sin back into the lead in this race. Sin is behind on a lot of trees compared to Brynhold right now, but if Sin finds Sunstone, come on, please, one time. One time, man. One time. And it's experience. All right, 2 more pickups. Let's see. You can use Charge Flame to break these icy fours, by the way. And there's also a little hole. All right, next one. It's an energy cell.
Go in the water, dude. Go in the water.
Go in the water. All right, I know it's cold. You're fine. And it's not Sunstone.
No. Wrong kind of stone. Oh man, this could have been a huge upset if Sunstone is there. So okay, so we know it's not, the Sunstone is not in these locations. Sunstone is either in the spider area, which you can wait, I believe those have been checked, right? The two that you can reach with just double jump and bash, right?
Yeah. So there's a couple of pickups. There's some like right at the valley entrance to the left of Hollow Grove. I'm guessing that's where Brynhold. Brynhold's not having Grenade, though. That could end up working against him if Grenade becomes a factor. That could bring Sin back in this race, but Sin is behind by a lot of trees. Brynhold only needs this climb tree, which is he's almost at right now, in order to be able to complete after he gets Light Grenade Tree. And Light Grenade Tree is a little bit tricky, but I wouldn't be surprised if Brynhold ends up also knowing the Zombie Ori set up to be able to get past the lasers.
And unfortunately, Sin is finding out the horrible truth. You can't get to over to the Misty entrance area through that through Forlorn.
Yeah, it's really tricky. What you can actually end up doing is double bashing a Baneling up, and then because it also does respawn, you can try multiple times, or you can just end up dropping a save in order to go for it. But it's really excruciating, really difficult. If the Baneling literally touches any of the walls, it ends up exploding and the trick fails. But oh man, the charge jump find from Brynhold over at Misty on the left. So not only does he only need one more tree to be able to start his search for Sunstone in order to finish the seed, but he also picked up Charge Jump in the meantime.
Man. And here's the thing. Oh, yep, there's Goom on Seal. Enjoy. Yep,
there it is. Okay, so Brynhold knows Forlorn's on the table as well.
In the event you're a Brynhold, you checked everything and you come to the realization, oh god, Sunstone is grenade block. Do you go back to areas you've checked before, or do you take the opportunity to clear Forlorn Escape to get that guaranteed grenade drop?
Forlorn Teleporter, all the keystones you could ever need, plenty of ability cells to skip portions of the cutscenes. I would make the play for Grenade, especially with Glide, to be able to get through the escape. And the reason is because it only ends up guaranteeing that you lose about 4 to 6 minutes, depending on your skill set that you have, as long as you have Glide. But also, And that's looks like what Brynhold is actually going to end up doing. We're going to see exactly how much he ends up going through. What? That is Stomp, folks, gated by a Mapstone turn-in. Oh man, what a find from Brynhold.
Okay, was that Mapstone? I think that was Mapstone 5?
I don't know for sure, but not a problem. All we know is that it was actually a Mapstone turn gate that Sin has not actually end up finding at all. So Sin also just backtracking to check some pickups that they found, looking for that gate. But that Mapstone turn-in actually was still possible to be obtained from the right-hand side of the map. So Sin is not going to find Stomp unless they actually end up turning in lots of maps.
Yeah, just it's very interesting. That's a rough time to put Stomp because having all the mapstones you need and going back to put them in the pedestal is a time-consuming process.
Yeah, for sure. That being said, Brynhold now completely clearing out the trees on the right-hand side, has that tree vantage over Sin, as well as it looks like maybe one more tree. Yeah, it looks like one more tree there. But that being said, Sin has grenades, but still just digging through Grotto, trying to find that progression that'll do it. But we know Charge Jump is on the left. Stomp, a Mapstone turn-in. So this is not looking too great for Sin unless Sin actually just ends up trying to push for right-hand side. I mean, left side, excuse me.
Unfortunately, Brynhold doesn't have when restart yet. You can't get through there, dude.
Wait, what? You just knew it was Stomp? I didn't know that. All right, well.
Really? I'm gonna have to remember that.
Easy. All right.
But unfortunately, does not pay off. There is no... He still needs Grenade to check further things in this particular area. The only thing left he can do is go over to Valley Entrance.
Yeah, and so we're going to see what Brynhold does, maybe just forgetting that he left some pickups behind. There's two easy to obtain pickups for him. One of them is going to be an experience on top of a tree. And then another one is going to be one in a very small poison water section after he stomps the peg down. But Brynhold's just going to be making the play for Light Grenade Tree, it looks like.
Yeah, and it looks like Sin is taking this opportunity to go back to Grotto and clean up some of the checks he passed up on. He's gonna just find a couple energy cells, some XP. The only thing we don't know what's down here is we never checked the dumb XP pickup over here, which he is making the play for, and we also haven't opened up the 4 energy door. Could there be anything over here now?
Yeah, we're gonna see for sure in a little bit. The really scary thing for both of our runners is that they're both looking for a skill. Of course, we as commentators know where these skills are, but Brynhold had the skills that Sin is looking for, and Sin has the skill that Brynhold is looking for. So pretty interesting trade-off here, but really, so to speak, Brynhold having just more trees is going to have to check less things, most likely, to be able to finish out his seed. So how long is it going to take Brynhold to find Grenade if he looks for it? Or when does he make that play to check the the pickups by the Hollow Grove teleporter? Going to be very interesting to see exactly how this seed unfolds.
Yeah. For now, he is getting his final tree, and he is going to be on a frantic search through Valley, looking for that Sunstone. Meanwhile, Sin is going over, has opened the 4 energy door, and is doing the puzzle. Though he has the skills necessary to at least skip the final step for this. Because, believe it or not, folks, there is a casual way to do this.
Yeah, for sure. Nicely done from Sin. Gonna check in here, nothing really to speak of, just experience.
Oh,
I take it back. There's Climb. Oh, man. And we know Sin will find charge jumps, so Sin will have grenade jumps for the final escape. Of course, saving that like 35 or 40 seconds is going to be really, really nice for Sin.
Okay. I can see maybe just a little bit of confusion from Sin's side. He was probably banking on that.
All right, hold the phone, Ozzy, because Brynhold just found Sunstone. Brynhold is on his way to Mount Horror in order to close out this seed. Oh, man.
Was that the flower?
No, it was the stomp pickup for the bird. So you just stomp.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
To think, we could have seen that earlier. Remember when Sin at the very start of the run was like, I'm going to go left, and like realized I have no energy, and I went right.
Yeah, but here we go. So Brynhold, really nicely done. Doesn't need to be grenade. Breathing a sigh of relief, really, because Brynhold was running out of pickups to be able to check in Valley in order to be able to find Sunstone. So before the pickup was gated in some awful way, either at the Fax ability cell or in some awful grenade gated section. But Sin just still on the dig, going to be making the play to head down to Light Grenade Tree, it looks like. So we're going to see how well Sin is able to work through these seconds.
Yeah, right now he is probably just a little bit confused because he was really banking on that location having Stomp, and that was not clearly Stomp. And the fact that it's Climb is, it's like, Climb by itself does nothing without Charge Jump, really.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Brynhold also just maybe forgetting he does have Charge Jump. So kind of interesting. We'll see as he heads into Horu. Oh no, Sin actually ends up catching himself in a repeated death loop. So not being able to get out of that scenario. Oh, that's so brutal. Is going to have to backload the save. Luckily in Ori there are backloads, but it's a little bit of RNG to see exactly which load you're going to get. So we're going to see how far back this is going to end up sending Sin.
Just to the tree. That was just he did has up activating the dash tree for quite a while, but looks like it kind of saved his bacon there.
Yeah, for sure. And now Brynhold made it into the final escape and made it in very few attempts to be able to get through that one frame trick door war. And now it's speaking certain victory at this point for Brynhold. He needs something miraculous, like his save file to get corrupted and him losing the entire thing, in order for Sin to be able to get back into this race. So really nicely played from Brynhold here. Uh-oh.
And Kuro.
Oh, dropped. Sending him back to the beginning of the final escape, no problem. But Brynhold also doesn't know where his opponent is. He could be thinking to himself, oh no, I can't believe I forgot that one pickup. But finding Stomp so late garnered him that advantage. So maybe he's thinking, my opponent must have turned in more map zones to find Stomp earlier and was able to check that pickup.
And he is going to find that out right now!
Yep, there it is. There's the Stomp pickup for Sin. That is absolutely huge and is going to be a sigh of relief.
Right. And this was very important for him because remember, he does not have the Valley Teleporter. At some point when he grabbed it, he died and forgot to get it again and has no way to get over to the left side. So he needed Stomp.
Yeah, it looks like Sin opting to not go for that. As Brynhold now is just holding right. GG Bryn is going to be finishing this match with a win on the board. So Brynhold heading on to round 3 with a score of 1 win and 1 loss. Very excited to see Brynhold bring out his A game today.
Yes, a very, very nice performance by Bryn. It was getting very interesting towards the end, whether or not this was going to be a grenade blocked seed or not. Thankfully, it was not for Brynhold, and he takes it. He is now 1-1 in the Swiss.
Yeah, nicely done. Now Sin doing a really nice trick, setting up a zombie Ori here, trying to level up these abilities, having a little bit of difficulty, but just has double-digit number of ability points and is able to get through no problem. And having Bash Grenade is going to allow him to get up, check this pickup, and then head on over to Light Grenade Tree.
Yeah, he is absolutely swimming in ability points. It's always nice, especially when you have to do Zombie Ori, because the more ability points when you have going into Zombie Ori means the less likelihood you'll soft lock.
Right, you are. And so there we go. Sin. Oh no! Oh no! Leveling up the ability point at not the correct time is going to bring us to the lore. Enjoy your cutscene, folks. But over on the left, GG to Brynhold is going to be finishing with a time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 50 seconds on this very, very extensive seed.
Yeah, technically he's still in full control of his character during this cutscene, so he can't drop down and activate the tree. And while this cutscene is still playing, he's activating a tree. I telling you, see, he just did.
Wow, that's really funny. This is next level immersion here, folks. Not only are we getting some lore, but we're getting some gameplay within lore. So, how do you say? Sin is immersing us in the cutscene while being immersed in the cutscene itself. That's pretty meta, if you ask me. And there it is. Activating the tree is going to get Sin 7 out of 10 trees. The only trees remaining for Sin are going to be the trees on the left-hand side of the map. And with Stomp, with Bash, is going to allow Sin to be able to easily work over from that Hollow Grove TP. But it looks like Sin actually wanting to check a few other pickups before heading over there.
And it looks like Sin has decided to not alt-nar from the grenade tree and is going to go ahead and check what is over here at this grenade locked pickup. As soon as he clears off these annoying enemies, because I swear, that bird in particular, people in the randomizer community has some very colorful names for him, I'll say.
Yeah, that bird is something else for sure. And so we're going to get the check on the pickup, and it is just experience. So Sin going to be checking that one pickup, being content, and is now most likely going to head over to the Hollow Grove TP, or maybe making a play for Sorrow there, Ozzy, with that Stomp pickup.
Well, he knows now that Valley of the Wind is blocking him from Sunstone is in Valley. Thing is he just now realized, oh god, I don't have Valley Teleporter. I'm going through here, which actually is kind of convenient because this means he is going to find the Sunstone here. He's not going to. Oh wait, I was gonna say yeah, it is planned, isn't it? No, it was the.
No, so the Sunstone was the ability cell that was gated by Climb and Charge Jump. But you can actually get access to it just by using Stomp, by stomping on a bird's head. I'm not quite sure if Sin actually knows the setup to be able to check that. I'm sure he does, but we'll see when he gets there. But Sin already with Climb and is going to be finding Charge Jump and Misty because that was gated at the tree. Is going to have definitely the skills necessary to be able to get the logic in order to check that.
Yeah, I was watching Sin screen when the Sunstone was found, so I completely missed where Sunstone was, honestly.
Yeah, here we go. I actually really like this route coming out of Sin, just coming down here in order to check some more pickups on the way, saying, I'm going to check the easiest to grab pickups first, and then I'm going to be working my way over to Valley. Yep, recognizing having Stomp is going to have Kuro spawned in there, so not just being able to glide up in order to check that. And yes, does know about this Stomp cell, and is going to be collecting Sunstone, drawing some nice smooth masters.
Oh, no!
Oh, that is quite a costly death.
That hurt.
And this is something I'm a huge proponent of, is that actually saving is a skill. And it's a very important skill to learn in Randomizer, especially with not wanting to backtrack ever. And so taking a costly death like that is just so brutal, but I'm sure we're going to see Sin drop some extra safety saves. Definitely having plenty of energy. So
yeah, this is... I feel for him, especially when at this point he has clearly noticed that he has lost this race, unfortunately. It's really easy to fall into that frustration mindset when you're making these kinds of mistakes. All I can hope for him right now is to tough it out as best he can, because we all want to see him finish the seed alongside Brynhold.
Yeah, nice adaptation here, just recognizing that did not need to check those pickups on the way up here to grab Sunstone. Instead, just going straight for the pickup, and is probably going to be progressing on over to getting that glide tree and progressing either up into Sorrow or heading over to Misty.
Yep. Grabs another keystone, which at this point, if he knows about key duping, should be just fine. But it looks like he's just going for some other pickups because he still wants to maybe speed up a little, make his life a little easier. He knows he's not in any particular rush.
Yeah, for sure. And so Sin now over here with Wood Restored, this actually makes it very, very easy to be able to make it over to the rocks. Opting to just bash off these lanterns as well to be able to get on up and careful, death plane. All right, makes it over to the rock, no problem, and is going to be collecting their feather tree.
Yeah, back when Brynhold was doing this, he did not have stomp, so that kill plane was not there. Here, that kill plane is bigger than it looks. Well, clearly because you can't see it, but you know what I mean. I can talk. I swear. I know English.
Yeah, and so now Sin, with that feather pickup, is going to make the decision whether or not they are going to go up to Sorrow. Actually, doesn't need Valley TP here if Sin made the play to just go over to Misty, but still making the play and then is going to probably be heading up towards Sorrow.
Yeah. I think the only skill we have yet to find in this seed was Dash, which is always unfortunate for any eraser of this game. Dash is just one of those amazing skills to have that gives you so much more versatility in your movement and your ability to do various tricks in this game. Thankfully, this does mean that. Wait, he has Stomp. He can just teleport to Sorrow TP. He has Sorrow TP, right?
Yep, he does have Sorrow TP, so he could actually just end up stomping the wall. If you climb up on those walls to the very top, there's a little notch that you can actually just fit into to be able to stomp through. But that being said, it looks like we are joined by the winner of the match, Brynhold2. How are you feeling, man?
It was a frustrating run, to be sure.
Yeah, man, that skill set, just starting off is really rough, and having to go up through Spider Sack area before finding that progression. So, do you want to talk a little bit about your opener and how you progressed through the seed?
Talk about what?
So the opening of the seed, like, what sort of decisions did you make? Like, when did you decide to go into Blackroot Burrows and check certain things? Also, like the energy cell to the left of Wall Jump Tree, did you intend to just like skip that and know it wasn't progression because you didn't have wall interaction while you were down there? Or did you just make a power play or forget about it?
I forgot about it.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, it's so easy to forget that, even when you're running all skills.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to put minds off, like put sections of areas in this game and group them together with all the items involved and just say, oh, I've been down there, I don't need to go back.
Yeah. But I had a pretty good skill set. Unfortunately, the Sunstone was behind that wall, but I got Stomp luckily in the end.
Yeah, Stomp's being locked behind Mapstone number 5, so you were probably getting a little worried towards the end there with regards to Sunstone. You checked all these areas, and there was a good likelihood that Sunstone could be grenade blocked. How were you feeling about that possibility?
Yeah, that was very, very worrying. So I could have run around for tens of minutes more if I was unlucky, but yeah, I randomly put that mapstone in.
Yeah, so
Stomp.
yeah, so in this case, Bryn, say that Sunstone had been gated by grenade, right? You would have needed the skill, which actually was in the health cell on the right hand side of Swamp, but you didn't have double jump, so you hadn't been down to Moon Grotto yet.
You decided to route over Swamp Teleporter to get to avoid having to use the Iceless entrance.
So off of this, Bryn, if you needed grenade, would you have gone back and dug to try to find grenade, or would you have made the play to get the plant at the end of Forlorn Escape in order to guarantee that grenade pickup?
I'm not sure. I would just, run around looking for stuff, I guess, and yeah, probably lose.
Yeah.
So
Early on in the seed, your choices ended up paying off very nicely, especially since one of the difficulties your opponent had was resources, namely keystones. they were unable to go to the double jump tree when they first went to Grotto, where because you found the Grotto not the Grotto, but the Grove teleporter behind the boulder in BRB, you were able to avoid having spending those 4 keystones to get to Grove. So, how were you feeling when you found that, knowing that you could get through that area?
I don't really remember that part. It's so long ago, but one thing I also forgot about completely was that I had bash and could do the. I did Jinsu tree for no big reason, but it was also very many pickups there, so I don't know if it was good or bad choice. But I could have got the frog and done
Oh,
that.
Yes.
that is very true. But in regards to just like smart routing decisions, both of you decided to fully clear Ginso in order to get into Swamp.
All right.
Which so it wasn't like a horrible play by any means. There's a lot of things you can check there, and when you have double jump and bash, you can fully clear it.
Yeah, so Bryn, tell me a bit more about this match itself. You made the play for Sorrow and ended up going for the Frog Micro Ledge. Is that something that you had practiced ahead of time?
No, I have played in vanilla though, so it was apparently very rusty, but I have done it many times before.
Wow, it's really impressive to see. That trick is really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not just something you pull out of your hat on a win. It's something you have had to be very confident in your ability to pull it off, especially in a race setting.
I did it during one of the random races last year, and I think I got it second try then, but or something like that. Now
Yeah,
it didn't want to work with me, so I got pretty frustrated at that
So,
point.
so going off of that, Bryn, do you want to include us in on some of this secret training strat? What do you actually end up doing in preparation for these tournaments? Because you're always just such a fierce competitor, man.
I'm probably doing way too little.
Do you just like
play.
play some seeds or?
Yeah.
Nice.
alright.
Yeah. So I maybe have played 10 seeds or something. And
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on your win once again. You're going to be heading to the next round, 1-1. Any last question here, Ozzy, for our runner before we get back to the action?
Yeah, now that you're currently 1-1, do you is there any particular like hopes you want to improve upon for the future? You're gonna have an entire week to practice up and get ready for your next match. So, what is something you want to improve?
I tried to study or think about the logic more since the last match because I completely forgot about that you're supposed to think about how the game is giving you progression. Because last race I got the bash behind the dash boulders right of dash tree, and I didn't even think about that the logic is supposed to have dash at that point. So it should have been close by. It could have been at least, and it was. So that was a pretty big mistake.
Well, your opponent is just about to wrap up his seed here very shortly. He has all his trees. He has everything but Dash. Dash was nowhere to be found in this seed.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Bryn, congratulations on the win, man. I'm really excited to watch. Really excited to watch your upcoming matches. But GG, dude.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See ya. All right, so Sin now collecting all the trees. We saw a little bit of a swag trick. I'm sure we're going to see it a few times more. Having grenade, charge, jump, and climb. gets us something extra special, doesn't it, Ozzy?
Yeah, and actually, this would be a great time to ask, because I actually don't know how to pull off this trick.
Oh,
Explain to me,
great.
how does grenade jumps work?
Oh, convenient. I'm here then. So grenade jumps are you climb on a wall, you're resting on the wall, then you decide and set up an angle by pressing a side key to start charging up a charge jump. Then after that's fully charged, you throw a grenade and then just jump 1 frame later, which is 1/60th of a second. So you throw a grenade and then jump out of it, and it ends up getting you a ton of speed because it like cancels some deceleration, something. Mahajit. If J-Hobbs is in chat, he can probably explain it a whole lot clearer and better than I could.
Can we not? I don't want to hear J-Hobbs talk for a moment.
Ooh, man. Oh, Sin with that death there in on their way towards that Horu door. They can be really tricky, especially without dash, to get over that lava swim section, which is an instant death section. But it's going to be charge jumping up, and Oz trying to get on the perch. Doesn't quite get it, so not going to be doing that grenade jump there. But we're going to see if Sin actually ends up setting up one across. Is trying to go up. Do they want to maybe check something in Horu Fields first, or nope? Yes. Oh, it takes the Bane Link to the face again. Oh man, these deaths.
I will requote one of my earlier commentators from last week's about these Banelings. They hit like a truck. In fact, I'm pretty sure they hit like 10 trucks because they do like all your health.
All right, there we go. Sin is going to end up getting up that Ultra Defense. Maybe just not feeling confident with the final escape. Maybe wants to just do a quick check to see if Dash is indeed here somewhere in these final pickups, but just cruising through the seed. They could opt to just go for the final escape. They definitely have the skill set required to do so. But we're going to see what they end up doing. Yeah, it looks like that is going to be the game plan here.
Yeah, if I had to guess at this point, Dash is probably in some horrible location. Or what was it that Grim always says? Dash is always R4 when in a seed like this.
Yeah, and there it is. Oh man, the grenade jumps feel so good. But now we're going to see Sin attempt another 1/60th of a second trick, or 1 frame trick as we call it, which is going to be Door Warp. How many attempts do you think it's going to take Sin, Ozzy?
I go with 2. Because I always feel like I'm bound to screw it up at least once, and second time at least you don't feel too bad.
Yeah.
You gotta reload the save, dude. There you go.
Just going through some doors really quick, no big deal. And
he gets it first try. Nice. And he is going for validation pickup too. What a dude.
All right, Dash can actually be over here, so we're going to see as an energy cell. That's okay. I've actually had a few seeds where Dash was that pickup.
Oh god, that's almost as bad as when I found out our seed from yesterday. Dash was at the top of Genso.
Fantastic. All right, and now Sin is going to be entering the final escape.
And here's the bird to signal the end of the game. I found it appropriate the last pickup is a mapstone, considering how much the mapstones really gated the logic for progression into left side in the seed.
Yeah, and here we go, just charge jumping up. Has that bash, so they can actually just bash all these lanterns. Nice. Charge jumping up, that saves like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, not having bash for final escape makes it some of the most trickiest escapes you could possibly do. It's actually really fascinating how many different combination of skills can let you get through this. And it can range from the pretty easy to the fairly difficult to the, oh god, why am I trying to do this?
Yeah, it's really, really difficult. Especially here. Oh, just spawning Kuro going a little too far to the right there, but makes it through the first death time challenge and is able to get up and finishes.
And
GG is in holding right now.
It's looking like he's going to about finish around 22:30, looks like. Unfortunately, because he spawned Kuro, he could not perform the grenade jump to skip this little bit, but it's better than dying and having to do that entire thing over again. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And so Sin making it through this seed. Wow, what a seed! Like starting off just with crude skills to be able to progress through wall jump and sea flame, having to spend those 4 keystones to get to that Hollow Grove teleporter, and then just being really short on resources for the mid game and having to revisit Moon Grotto just multiple times. Very, very tricky and difficult situation, but Sin was able to keep a level head, being able to move through this seed. And this does count as a loss for Sin, but Sin is not out of the tournament yet because there are 5 rounds of Swiss. So if Sin wins the next 3 matches in a row, this is going to allow them to progress on to bracket phase, but definitely excited to see what Sin is going to be able to bring to the table in the upcoming races, as Sin is going to be walking through with Naro, throwing in a few optimizations there, finishing with an overall time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 51 seconds. GG.
Yep. He could very well go. I could end up facing Sin, and I can say without a doubt that Sin would put up a really good fight, and I would look forward to it.
All right, Ozzy, thank you so much for commentating with me today. Very exciting to see more action for the randomizer itself, but this is going to do it for us, folks. We're running a little bit short on time because this seed was just so long, so we're not going to end up bringing in Sin for an interview, but don't go away. There's going to be more exciting action on Speed Gaming for the rest of the day, but also we are going to have another randomizer match, which is going to be none other than Poodle versus Richard on Speed Gaming 2, which is this channel, and that is going to happen at 7 p.m. Eastern. So definitely tune in for that. I'm very excited to see that matchup.
Yeah, it'll be a nice chill evening with Randomizer, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you then.
All right, and of course, we couldn't have done this without the help from behind the scenes. Flying Marlin and Bromelios, thank you for trucking, and of course, Melvin for restreaming. We'll see you at 7 p.m.
Later.